I never really was a big fan of fighting games. The only one that really caught my eye was Brawlhalla, but even then, it's been years since I've played it. So, what could this little stickman fighting game ever do to make me, someone that doesn't care about fighting games, love it? Well, just take a look at it. Your Only Movies Hustle, or Yomi Hustle for short, is a turn-based fighting game, kind of like how Toribashi's one too, if you've ever heard about it. But this doesn't look very turn-based at all, so how could it be? This abomination of a HUD is what you use to control your character. I know it looks like a plain cockpit, but rest assured, it's easier than it looks. First of all, you can see these two sets of controls in the bottom. One set is for your character's controls, and the other one is for your enemies. You can use your enemies' controls to see what moves they can do, so you can see how they would interact with your own moves. So, for example, I might predict that my enemy, who is a cowboy, will try to attack me using a horizontal slash, but I, as a ninja, can predict that and perform a back sway, so then I escape his attack, and I'm ready before he is, allowing me to hit him before he can recover from his attack. But of course, my opponent can also predict what I'm going to do, and counter it by performing any attack that would hit me during my backsway animation. My opponent can then try to keep me in a combo for as long as he can to maximize damage. But there are still some things that I can do during the combo to try to escape it. Take a look at this blue dial here. This is your directional influence, more commonly known as DI. With DI, you can influence where you're gonna get knocked back to on the next attack, serving as a tool to throw off your opponent, while they try to keep you in range of their attacks to continue their combo. You can also burst, which, if hit, launches your opponent away from you, giving you plenty of time to get back in the fight. This is a very strong tool to get out of any combo, but just remember to be very careful with this, because if your opponent predicts that you're going to burst, they might just parry it, completely negating it. Up here you have 3 bars that represent your resources. This big yellow one is your health bar, which represents your HP. Each player has 10,000 and they die once it hits 0, losing the game. The blue bar is your burst meter. Your burst is available once this bar is filled up, and you can also cancel any move instantly at the expense of 75% of it with a whiff cancel. However, this is not a get out of jail free card, as you do not have any defensive or movement abilities after doing so you have to commit to attacking. This other purple bar is the super meter. You fill it up by fighting, taking damage, dealing damage, parrying, blocking, and even just moving in the direction of your opponent. When the super meter fills up, you gain a level, and you can spend these levels to perform super moves like the ninja's quick slash, the cowboy's instant teleport, the wizard's spark bomb, and the robot's infamous kill process. There are 4 characters in this game, with a 5th one coming soon. The ninja is the king of close range. He is the one that I play as the most, as he has insane movement options, and I'm a sucker for good movement. He is able to close gaps with ease, using his dodges that can go in any direction of your choosing for the perfect positioning. Using these tools to have the best positioning possible is key to succeeding when playing as him. Aside from his punches and kicks, the ninja also has access to nunchucks, caltrops, shuriken, and kunai throwing shadow clones. And remember that backsway I talked about? Well, backsway is a sort of a dodge, and it puts you in the backsway stance. This stance lowers your options immensely, but it enables one that is the most satisfying attack to hit on this class, the palm strike. This is mostly used as a combo finisher, as it deals tons of damage, but it gives your opponent enough space to get back into the fight. The backsway is a very fun move of the ninja. However, my favorite move of his is Store Momentum. That, for a bar, takes the ninja's current speed and stores it, instantly stopping him in his current position. You can then, for another bar, release this momentum in any direction together with an attack, resulting in it being very unpredictable. The ninja is the perfect class for anyone that would like the maximum amount of flexibility during gameplay. If you like to freestyle and movement is your thing, give this one a try. The cowboy has a revolver, obviously, and a fucking katana. Oh yeah, and he can also teleport and stop time. Nothing crazy, you know? The Cowboy is the most beginner friendly. Most of his moves are quite simple in nature and it is easy to maintain a combo as him, as he can literally teleport and most of his melee attacks have a good range. But even with his main source of damage being the sword, what really defines him is his revolver. By drawing the revolver you can shoot it in any direction, and at the cost of a bar you can even delay the bullet, shooting it and stopping it in time to get shot later, giving our opponent more things to think about, therefore pressuring them. The bullet also reflects off of surfaces and is really fast, making it very hard to parry. Because of this, the revolver turns into a very strong tool to counter the lack of mobility of this character. With Foresight, the Cowboy sets up a stain. You have two options from which you can choose what you want to do with it. You can teleport to it and do an attack in the same turn, or make a small explosion on it that teleports your last shot bullet to it, effectively shooting it again. The Cowboy also has a lasso that, if hit, can perform an Izuna drop as a combo finisher or pull your opponent to start or continue a combo. The Cowboy's instant teleport, while very strong for positioning, costs 1 bar to use, and his other super, the 1000 cuts, spawns a wall of cuts that makes it very hard to approach him without getting hit. All in all, the Cowboy is the easiest class to pick up, and it is well rounded, not having any huge advantages or disadvantages, which makes it the best class for the first few games. But please, do not be afraid to try out all the other classes. The Wizard is my off main. He is better at mid-range, but lacks at short distances. To combat this, his medium-range proficiency is what makes him a great zoner, making it hard for the opponent to get close to him. His movement options are also pretty cool. He can basically turn off gravity with hover, or increase it with fall, and he can also turn into a bullet bill and launch himself over very long distances using the missile launch, which is also a pretty good tool for closing gaps during combos. The Wizard has 3 different supers. There's Spark Bomb, Telekinesis, and Orb. The Spark Bomb costs 1 bar to cast, and it summons this yellow electricity bomb that takes some time to arm, and it keeps following your opponent until it explodes on impact, dealing a ton of damage and knockback. This, although very situational and hard to pull off, can also give you an explosive boost to your movement, giving your attack some unpredictability. Then we have Telekinesis. This super also costs 1 bar. It summons one of these objects at random, and it keeps them close to the wizard until he decides to launch them. It's a pretty basic ability, but it is really good to not only protect you from aerial attacks, but also to apply a good deal of pressure on your opponent. And lastly, the Orb. This summons a blue orb that keeps draining your super while it is out. It adds to your attacks, so it will throw a projectile at your opponent if you use a ranged attack, it summons 4 swords that rotate around it when you use a melee attack, and it summons lightning bolts from it if the user uses his... feet? What? I'm not kidding, it only works with kicks. Well, anyways, next character. And last but not least is the robot. Look at this cute little guy, he even transforms into a car like a transformer. The robot is a grappler, which means that he's proficient at grabbing the opponent. Not only because he has 6 different grabs, but also because those 6 different grabs are really strong. His attacks are the most powerful in the game, and he also has a 15% damage reduction. So, how does he get balanced? His movement is absolute dog shit. I mean, yes, he can quite literally fly, but you don't have much control over his movement, making hitting as well as getting away from attacks very difficult. He has, however, a mechanic that allows him to get close to his enemies with less risk. Armor, that automatically cancels a move to block an incoming hit, and after hitting your enemy with kill process, armor gets an upgrade. Making it so instead of blocking, it just completely ignores any knockback or stun. His supers are Loik and Kill Process. Loik, or Low Orbit Ion Cannon, costs a bar and summons a laser from above on the opponent, forcing them to either block or dodge it. And that is, from my experience, exactly what it is good for, to force your opponent to either block or dodge, potentially giving you an opening if used well and with good positioning. And the positioning is especially important, as you want to be close to your opponent to follow up, but you also don't want to get hit. Because if Robot gets hit, Loic gets cancelled so fast you might think it is like Taylor Swift. And then we have Kill Process. This move is yet another grab that spends all of your bars, and the more bars you have, the more damage it deals. To the point that if you have the maximum amount of bars, it can just instantly kill your enemy, even at full health. Although it does have a huge damage decrease during a combo, making it impossible to one-shot a full health opponent. Also, I have a clip that I have no idea where to put, so I'll just put it here. This is an insane read I did of a Cowboy. What the fuck are you gonna do with jump, man? Oh, imagine. Dudes, imagine. 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 Dude, imagine. Imagine, just imagine it, okay? Oh! What a fucking read, dude! What a fucking... Dude, what a fucking read! Something I never see people talk about in reviews of any game is the community. The community in this game is absolutely pristine. They love to shitpost, like, a lot. Look at what one of the members of the Discord did when I posted the cockpit image in their memes channel. Everyone that I have met has been really cool, especially the more skilled players. Everyone is very welcome and will kindly help you with any trouble that you may have understanding the mechanics of the game. That being on the Discord or even in the in-game chat. People will always help you if you ask for help. And also, this game is dirt cheap, and you should buy it now!